hello, everybody, to this very special episode of Happy Hunting. This week, we are taping our episode on location at the Fantasy Faire, an event that many of us look forward to every year, and this is going to be a very special show with some equally special guests, and of course, with my very good friend here, Frequency Picnic, who is going to give you all the latest hunt news and some other interesting things that you're going to see on this show today. So right now we're going to get started, and of course I would like to thank the sponsors of this show, which are Prim Perfect Publications, Hollywood Real Estate, and Treat TV. And right now we're going to go right into the hunt news. Well, hello Freak, and what great things did you find this time?
Hey Cinders, I found all sorts of cool stuff. A lot of it was actually clothing, and then I decided, oh, it's the Fantasy Faire. I'll come as a wood sprite. It doesn't look so great in a tank top, but I found some other things too to show you. I've been working slowly on the Sanity Falls hunt, and that one actually runs through June, so you got plenty of time. But one thing I wanted to show was this cool wand of sorcery that casts magic spells, and I'll cast one on you.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, it's a love spell.
Works for me. Oh, look at that.
And this one comes from Arcanum, and they have the coolest packaging. Over this way, this thing that looks like a lava mountain with all sorts of particle effects is actually just the packaging for this magic wand, and it's got a whole bunch of neat kind of spells and things that you can do. Cast them on your friends or yourself, make yourself invisible, throw your friends in the air, all kinds of neat things.
Well, I have to admit the packaging itself is pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool. I mean, when you res it, it explodes and pieces go flying everywhere, and then this is inside. So it's pretty dramatic. I was impressed.
So in other words, don't res it right out on your feet.
No. Let's see. Another thing that I found was on a hunt that was mostly fashion stuff. It's called the Fashion Centric High Five Hunt, and that one runs until the 30th of April. I found this little lawn chair and parasol here in the Elefanten store, which is just the cutest little furniture store. It has, you just go, go check it out. It's charming, it's adorable, and it's got a really great prize.
Well, that is really nicely done, and I must say you look quite comfortable on it.
It's very comfy. Another thing I wanted to show was from the Rainbow Hunt, which I think is on its third installation, right on the little table next to me here, is a magic wand and little bracelets that give off rainbow poofs. Kind of cute. And the Rainbow Hunt is run by Sparkles and Giggles. I think it's a kid-friendly hunt, and it starts at Mountain Spirit Sim and runs until May 1st.
Oh, well, that'll be fun for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting on the ground, aren't I?
Yes, you are, but you're looking quite fun. Now, I also want to know, now I know you finished the crazy hair, and have you tried it all on?
I'm wearing some of it.
Oh, great.
Yep, this is the Fern Gully hair. I forget exactly where I found it, but it goes great.
Oh, it does perfectly with your avatar. And of course, we always want to know about hunts that are going to be coming up that our viewers can look forward to.
Yes. There is a men-only hunt that's coming up May 26th to June 9th. So drag your guys along, or guys if you're not averse to hunting. I know some guys are just not into hunting. But check that one out. It's got a lot of good fashion. Another hunt that's going on now actually is the Jersey Shore hunt, and I had a fun time at this because the sim is set up sort of like a old-fashioned beach boardwalk, and all the stores are kind of fun little things like bikinis and T-shirts with funny sayings on them, and tattoos and goofy gestures, and the kind of stuff you'd find on a boardwalk. And they're having a hunt. All of the items are 10 lindens each, and that runs until April 31st.
Oh, that does sound like a lot of fun to do.
It was pretty cool. It's a very easy hunt too because all the stores are just little stalls, so it's easy to find the hunt item, which is a daffodil, in each of the stores. Let's see, what else do they have to say? Oh, the macabre hunt is coming up. There's actually a bunch of goth themed hunts coming up. The macabre hunt is Dead in Wonderland, and I've noticed a theme of a lot of Alice in Wonderland things this year. That one runs from May 12th to June 12th. And yeah, that's what I know.
Well, I did hear in one of my groups about one that I think I will probably take a look at doing is the Drunken Skin Hunt. And
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, viewers, you may not be aware, but I am looking for a new skin, so if there's any place I can get demos, I'm going. So, yeah, it's going to be skins, of course. Probably the majority are going to be female, but I'm sure a lot of the skin makers are not going to ignore the male segment out there. So it's still a great way to get some free skins and see if you like their work, and then go back and check it out again. And I think they're also going to have eyes and tattoos in that hunt. And the hunt object is going to be a martini glass, which should hopefully be easier to spot than some of the hunt objects I've had to look for in my day. But that's definitely one. Cool. One I'm going to be looking forward to. And you had mentioned to me earlier this week that you wanted to talk about the Hunt Resource Center.
Yes. In fact, if you go, I just blogged about it on our Happy Hunting blog. There's a Hunt Resource Center, which is just wonderful. It's run by somebody, Tuwat, Michigan, and that's her name, right? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Okay, and it's in the cookie jar sim. There's a plural to it on our website, and it's great. What she's done is collected posters from all sorts of store hunts, grid-wide hunts, sim-wide hunts, and they're laid out by month, and there are note cards you can take that list other hunts, and it's just wonderful. So if you're looking for a hunt, go check out the Resource Center, and I'm sure you'll find one that will be just right for you. The Cookie Jar Sim is also having their 1-year anniversary hunt starting on May 30th, and that's just a 2-week hunt, goes until the 13th of June.
Well, I would certainly agree with Freak here. After she told me about it, I went and checked out the Hunt Resource Center, and yes, this is a great place for hunt organizers to get their hunts seen in a different way. And it's great for a hunter who's going, well, I want to do a hunt, but I don't know where to start. You just go there. We will have the plural up on the blog, and just teleport there, go take a look around. You see a hunt that interests you, click the poster, and you can start.
Exactly. And, you can find this information on the web, too, but somehow it's just more fun to go to a place and click and find and teleport.
It's a very clever idea that Tuwat has come up with, and I think it's going to prove out to be highly popular with organizers and hunters.
I think so.
And, of course, we're going to be using it as a resource ourselves.
Oh, I'll be there all the time.
So if you see Freak there at the Hunt Resource Center, be sure to say hi.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks, Freak. It sounds like you've found some great things and told us about some great stuff coming up, and, of course, the Hunt Resource Center. And we can't wait to see what you find for our next episode.
I know, me too.
Think you? Yes, you do. Oh, and viewers, I hope you are taking a good look at Freak's appropriate avatar for being here at the Fantasy Fair. It's very good. And I love the hair that she's using from the Crazy Hair Hunt.
Well, thank you.
But, yeah, so, okay. Well, thank you, Freak. We'll look forward to the next episode. And right now we're going to go into our first commercial break. And when we come back, we will be speaking with Elizabeth Tinsley and Xander Green, who are executive producers of the 2012 Fantasy Fair, which is a benefit for Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. And don't forget, viewers, that everything you've heard about in this section of the show you will be able to find on our blog at happyhuntingtv.wordpress.com. So be sure to check it out. So stay with us, and we will show you great stuff when we come back. Welcome back, viewers, and right now I'm very pleased to have as the guests for today's show Xander Green and Elizabeth Tinsley, executive producers for 2012 Fantasy Fair. Welcome, Xander and Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. It's such a wonderful pleasure to be with you folks.
Definitely looking forward to speaking with you.
Now, Xander, I know, of course, you have been involved with the Fantasy Fair before, and I'm sure our viewers are very anxious to know what they can expect to see when they come.
This is the fourth year of the Fantasy Fair, the Relay for Life of Second Life Team Friends Fighting Cancer. It's our primary fundraising event of the course of the relay season here in SL. And started 4 years ago, so it's really grown. It's really come a long way. If you go back and have been visiting us from the get-go, you'll be astonished, I think, when you think back to the level of the Sims the first year compared to where we're at now. They were always wonderful, but it just really has grown. And in terms of attendance, in terms of the caliber of the merchants and the quality of their wares, certainly in terms of the design and the look of the Sims, and very exciting, of course, this year to be adding so many new, really exciting features to the fair, including the hunt, the story that underlies Fantasy Fair 2012.
Now, Elizabeth, I believe the hunt that is going to be going on during Fantasy Fair is called the Fairland Saga. So what is that going to be about?
I'm glad that you asked. The Fairland Saga got its name from the fantasy continent that we built and we decided to call the Fairlands. And so it's basically the story of the Fairlands. We have 8 Sims, and what we wanted to do was incorporate a story that went across all of them, that really promoted exploration and an interactive way of moving through the Sims that took people away from the shops a little bit and let them explore what the designers have created. At this point, we'll be very excited to see how it all pans out, because we are still in the midst of putting the final words on the paper right now as we're putting together the entire fair and getting it all up and running. So Xander, who has actually been working on the prologue, might have a few words to say.
All right, over to you, Xander.
I think it's one of the things that we're all as individuals drawn to in a general sense with regards to fantasy content here in SL, but also, I think with regards to literature as well. I mean, I know I came up steeped in the words of J.R.R. Tolkien and so many other great fantasy writers who opened my mind at a very early age to a world of just unlimited possibility. And it's something that I've always been really drawn to the common themes, the archetypes, if you will, that you find so often in fantasy literature. And I always felt in the context of Relay that Fantasy Faire made a lot of sense, because if you think about it, there are a lot of elements to the reason why we relay that lend themselves in a direct way to that some of those archetypes that you find in fantasy. The idea that individuals have great power to affect positive change in their world, and the idea that when we come together to act as a team, we can do even more. The idea that there are forces at work that, as much as we would love to think otherwise, are conscious or not, are impediments to moving forward and being happy in our lives, and that we have to, at times, we have to do difficult things. We have to rise to difficult circumstances and occasions, and push through our fear, push through our doubt, our pain, our anguish, and our sadness at times, in order to keep moving us towards that goal. Now, with Relay, of course, that goal is to find a cure for cancer. And I suppose if you think about the metaphorical value of everything from the search for the ring in the Lord of the Rings to these other kinds of devices, there's the Holy Grail or the Golden Fleece or what have you. It's about finding something on that other side and bringing it back to the world you came out of, so that you enhance and improve that world. That's a journey that we all have to go on in a way in our lives, isn't it? And so I think when you read that in fantasy literature, we all go, I am that kid. I am the Harry Potter that knows there's something going on here more than what my eyes are telling me. And then, of course, you are initiated into that deeper truth. And with it, it's nice, but with it comes then the responsibility of, okay, now that you know, what are you going to do? The choice is yours. Are you going to say yes to the quest, to the adventure that's been offered you? And ultimately, how can any of us really learn anything from a journey we haven't ourselves taken? So all of these themes kind of come playing in and out of the story. Each of the different realms, the 8 different shopping sims, each of them has their own story to tell, but then there is a single overarching narrative that kind of weaves them all together as well. And of course, what would a hunt be without a lot of really great stuff, as Lauren Thibault likes to say? So lots of goodies along the way, lots of treasure chests for you to open, and lots of rewards for you, as there should be, for having the courage to say yes to that adventure, and for setting off with your talismans and your armor and your magical accoutrement in hand to set forth and set the Unweaver packing, stop him from being able to do what he wants to do, which is to undo all of our hard work, our good work. And so the Unweaver is out there, and he's always at work behind the scenes. But we believe in the Fairlands that the right heroes will turn up, they will accept the challenge that we're offering, and together we'll march forward towards ultimate victory. And we believe that as relayers too. We relay until there is a cure, and the time has come to take up that quest once again.
Well, this sounds like this is going to be a very fascinating hunt, and with an interesting story to go along with it. Now, how do the hunters get started, and what are they looking for, and is there a particular way that they need to do the hunt?
If they'll just come to the Fairlands Junction Sim, you will be met by the Bardic Queen of the Fairlands herself, Lady Garland. She is the bard mistress of the Fraternity of the Feather, an order of cleric storytellers whose job it is to preserve the lore and heritage of the Fairlands. And the intrepid explorer need have no fear that he'll be out here on his own. No, he will be met by allies. They will make sure he or she knows precisely where to go. We're here in the library on the Fairland Junction now, and you'll be able to follow the signs that bring you right into this beautiful space, where you'll be provided with the tools that you need for just a very minor, modest donation to the Relay for Life. You get your special HUD, and that enables you then to set off on the quest, and you just sort of follow the clues as they come up. There's a lot of room to explore and kind of create your own adventure as you go as well. We're sort of keeping an eye on all of that too. So while it is I suppose you could say, an autonomous adventure. In other words, you can come and be the hero, or you could come with a group of your friends and quest as a team. But we're going to be on the lookout for whoever saw those clues and those puzzle pieces first. And hopefully we'll be able to, via Fairland Radio and the Fairland website, to let people know who has been the first to carry us across those milestones, those important milestones. The siren glass is really what it comes down to, a magical object of enchantment that has been destroyed but must be reassembled. The siren glass has been shattered into 8 shards. Each of the Fairland realms is a resting place for one of the shards of the siren glass. And if we can't work together to come together to remake the broken siren glass, then all manner of unfortunate outcomes may result. But again, I think we will have people show up and answer the call, and I think that they'll be able to follow the clue, I often think of the thread that Ariadne leaves in the maze for Theseus, and hopefully Ariadne will be leaving actually she left a thread for him, which I was interested recently to read, the Greek name for which is clue. So it's where we get the word clue from. It's the name of a yarn that Ariadne left for Theseus to follow to make his way out of the labyrinth. And I think Ariadne's thread will be clear enough for everyone to follow and find what they need to find. And again, I believe, and Elizabeth, all of us in the Fairlands believe that come the closing day, come April 29, all will be well.
And yes, and you've just thrown the gauntlet down to a bunch of hunters, many of whom, and I will include myself, can get highly competitive, especially when you start hearing about so-and-so is almost finished, and it's like, wait, what? No, I can get done just as fast as they can.
Sure.
So I can just see all of these avatars zipping around trying to finish ahead of a friend. This should be
love nothing more.
this should be quite interesting to see going on, and of course it enables the participants to get a great look at all of the Sims. So the hunters out there that are going to be here at Fantasy Fair while they're doing the Fairland Saga, if they happen to wander by and see something cool in a shop, they can do a little side shopping while they're doing the hunt.
Absolutely, and really that's one of the main goals that we had by introducing the idea of an interactive hunt, of a role-play component. If you think about it as as a kind of a duh moment that we had at the end of last year when we realized that this thing that's essentially services a wide range of fantasy role-play communities in Second Life should itself evolve to become a fantasy role-play experience in its own right. So in a sense, it feels sort of like fait accompli, and truly one of the main goals we had was to encourage a deeper exploration of these extraordinary Sims. These designers they do such a phenomenal job, and we just want to give everyone who comes here every excuse, every reason we can think of to spend the time to explore the Sims, participate in the story, and again, not only do you get the satisfaction of knowing that you've helped us to win the day, but you also get a lot of great goodies for yourself. So, and you see some of what I think are just probably the most beautiful realms ever created for the Second Life grid.
Well, I can say for myself, I have come to every Fantasy Fair since they started, and I really don't know how everyone manages to do it, but it just gets better and better every year. The Sims are more incredible every year. So my hat's off to you, the design team, and everyone who works so hard to pull this off.
Well, we'd certainly be nowhere without the support of our friends in World Media. And we thank you guys for everything you've done to help us to get the word out there. It's all about relay, of course, at the end of the day. And what we hope is that people will come here and have a good time and be encouraged to be generous in their support of Relay for Life, of the American Cancer Society and its beautiful, noble vision of a world without cancer.
Well, I certainly am a long supporter of that, and I know a lot of my viewers are too, and I know it will be a great success. Now, Xander, I believe you wanted to take us over to an area, or was it a sim called the Tides?
Thought we might go have a quick sneak peek at one of our enchanted destinations. And I think perhaps if Frequency can bring her magic wand to bear, I bet we can even get over there via the magic of television in a quite the little snap and flash.
That sounds pretty wonderful to me. Well, stay with us, viewers. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we will be over at the Tides. And of course, everything you've heard is going to be available on our blog at happyhuntingtv.wordpress.com. Stay with us, and we will be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We have now moved over to the Tides, a sim that is absolutely beautiful, and behind us is another incredible sim. I am very impressed with what I've seen here so far at Fantasy Faire, and you are going to be just loving it when you're here. Now, Xander, what else can you tell us about what will be going on during Fantasy Faire?
There's so much going on all week long. Of course, we, like all of the major festivals, as a part of Relay for Life, we have a week of just tremendous live musicians, some of the best and most most beloved live performers on the grid will be playing live for us here in the Fairlands. And of course, we all have lots of great dance parties that are going to be going on with tremendous DJs on Fantasy Faire Radio. We something that's just kind of brand new to the fair from last year, but something that Nivar Lobo, who is of course a relay legend, developed the Jalen Bale concept, and we just had so much fun with those last year. Jalen Bale is back, so we're going to be snagging some of our more beloved merchants and tossing them in the hooskows, and trying to generate a little bit of money to arrange their bail and release. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's an auction, 2 auctions, I should say, a silent auction that runs the entire week, closes on our Saturday the 28th, and then a live auction that's going to feature some of the most iconic elements of these beautiful sims up for sale, so in some instances exclusive designers. That's going to be on our last day on Sunday. Gosh, there's the new visitor's guide this year, which is extraordinary. It's going to give you maps of all of the sims. It's going to give you a pictorial spread of the best of the shots of the sims themselves. Lots of more information too about the fair. A real excellent keepsake commemorative item, in addition to being something that I think is going to be very useful for people who want to come back over quickly after they've been once and want to come back days later. So I suppose probably the best thing to do is to send people to the Fairlands website, which is fantasyfairesl.wordpress.com. And we're going to be having all of the latest breaking news of what's going on, and some exclusive insider information and tips, a few clues perhaps along the way of the hunt. And then you're going to find all of that stuff right there on the Fairland website. Again, fantasyfairesl.wordpress.com.
Well, viewers, I've had a chance to get a little sneak peek at the Fantasy Faire guide, and yes, it is going to be a wonderful thing to look at. You are just going to be blown away by what you're seeing here. There's going to be a lot to do, a lot to see, and of course the Fairland Saga hunt for you to take part in. It's going to be an absolutely incredible experience here, and I really hope that you will come over and take part, see what's here, have some fun, do some shopping, go dance, go listen to some great music. You're going to have a fantastic time. And we have to say a thank you to all of the incredible builders and designers who have done each of these sims. It is just amazing. You're going to be here the whole time. You're going to have to come back every day just to see things you may have missed the first time around. So Xander and Elizabeth, I just am so impressed with how you have pulled this all together, gotten it done. It's just amazing. I can't find enough adjectives to describe how wonderful this whole thing is going to be. And I have a feeling that there is going to be a huge surge of avatars when this officially opens up to the public. Wow, this is going to be just something really special and unique. And then, of course, we're all going to be waiting for it next year. Is there anything you would like to say to the viewers, just to kind of a little sign-off here?
I think when I look around and I see what we can accomplish together, embodied in these extraordinary Sims, it's a spirit of relay, of course, and the spirit of the fair. We've been thinking about this as the months have ticked away, bringing us ever closer. And I think what we've come to realize is that the spirit of Fantasy Faire and the spirit of relay are one and the same. And it's this certain belief that we have that if we come together and do what we can do, then we can make magic happen. We can not only make the world a better place, we can make ourselves better people, and I think we are better people for coming together and relaying together, and that's a very special and a very moving thing to find oneself a part of in this magical virtual world that we all share and love.
Elizabeth, any final words for our viewers?
I would just like to invite everyone to come and experience the Fantasy Faire this year. It's beautiful, and you will be truly amazed at what you see.
Thank you both for being my guests today on Happy Hunting. I have thoroughly enjoyed interviewing the two of you and seeing this fabulous thing that you pulled together. Viewers, I can't recommend highly enough that you come to Fantasy Faire, take part in the Fairlands Hunt, see what's up at the auctions, go to the concerts, dancers, and just see what is here. And I'm sure there are some little surprises tucked around on the different Sims of things to discover.
And we would certainly like to say thank you very much to you, Cinders, and to the Prim Perfect team and the Happy Hunting program for coming over here and helping us to spread the word about this important event and about relay.
Well, you're very welcome, Xander. It was our pleasure to come here to the Fantasy Faire and find out about the Fairlands Saga Hunt, and see some of the wonderful Sims that are here, and of course for Relay for Life, A Second Life, and the American Cancer Society. Thank you very much. It's just an incredible place, and I can't wait to start officially exploring around and seeing everything there is to see. So viewers, that is it for this episode. I really hope that you will come and check this all out. It is just incredible, and Xander and Elizabeth are just part of a great team of people who put on this marvelous event that we all look forward to every single year. That is just about it for now. I hope you will join us next time. Until then, I will wish you all a great weekend. And of course, just a reminder that the Fairlands Saga Hunt will run until April 29th, so take advantage and get some great goodies. For now, happy hunting.